Westchester County Center United Artists, Cable of Westchester, Cable 3, and Continental Cablevision presents the Section 1 High School Basketball Championships. It's the Class A final. The number 5 seeded Scarsdale Raiders taking on the number 7 seeded but defending champions and Mount Vernon Knights. Hi everybody, Eric Lubitz along with Rob Astorino for the Class A Championship. And Rob, a rematch of last year's team, Scarsdale Mount Vernon. Only last year Mount Vernon far and away the number 1 seed. Here they come in number 7 to the surprise of everybody, but Scarsdale themselves are number 5. So a different kind of philosophy going into the game.
Last year Mount Vernon had the horses. They could hit it from every area. They played great as a team. This year they lack that in some areas. They still have some good shooters like Corey Brown, but Scarsdale real more of a complete team. They've got a great center we'll talk about, and they've got patience, and more patience. They're going to lull Mount Vernon into playing Scarsdale game, and they're going to try to win their 3rd out of 3 against Mount Vernon this year.
That's right, a good contrast of styles. They've already played twice this year since they are in League 1A. Both games won by the Scarsdale Raiders. The last game they won by 15 at Mount Vernon convincingly. The first game at Scarsdale, they needed overtime. Now for Mount Vernon, there's a big guy, Newton Gale. He doesn't start for the Knights, but he is an important player.
He's their great 6th man off the bench. He has earned a spot to come on and play a lot of minutes this season. He's got great extension, great leaping ability on both sides of the ball. Defensively, he can shot block, and offensively, he can put the ball in the hoop. He's done a real good job for Mount Vernon this season.
And he likes coming off the bench. He'd rather not start, in fact. For the Raiders, David Siegel's their main man as a shooter, but Stephen Cooper, as a big guy, maybe the best defensive player, he has stopped the other team's big guy all year.
Cooper's been great in the center spot all season defensively, and he's also come along. He's contributed more than 20 points a few times this year. The combination of Cooper and Siegel could be real deadly for Mount Vernon if they don't stop him early.
Now, some people thought Mount Vernon still had a shot to get here to the finals, despite the number 7 ranking with the experience and the great tradition in Mount Vernon, and they did get here, and here's how they did it. A laugher against Arlington, then John Jay, the number 2 seed, knocked off by double digits, and then suffering here at the County Center, the number 3 seed, by 14. So Mount Vernon has played big in the big game.
They certainly have, and what a tradition. I mean, they pump players into the NBA all the time in Division I schools, and tradition alone can't win it. They've got to execute today, and to do that, I think they've got to jump out early and make Scarsdale and take Scarsdale out of their offense and their defense, and if they can get out early, I think they can hold the lead the rest of the way.
Scarsdale, well, they weren't supposed to get here either, according to the seedings, with a win over Ketchum at home, then traveling to number 4 seeded New Rochelle. Lost to him twice already during the year, and down 11 in the 3rd quarter, come back to defeat him by 2, and then a nail-biter over number 1 Spring Valley right here in the County Center in the semifinals. So we'll come back. Mount Vernon defending their state championship and county championship against number 5 Scarsdale next.
We all grow up. Never fast enough, it seems, for some. And yet altogether too quickly for others. Along the way, learning from whomever is willing to teach us. And it's interesting, isn't it, how today our eyes get opened and our minds get broadened, where our heroes come from and our dreams begin.
This is a special CNN World.
And as television grows up with us,
Live from the Gulf.
some feel better knowing there's one television company with the know-how to have already brought nearly 200,000 miles of cable to more than 8 million homes, servicing it with over 10,000 people. Because as we head into the future, maybe the secret lies not so much in trying to know what tomorrow will bring, but just in making sure we know someone who does.
Westchester County Center, the site for the Class A Championship. Scarsdale and Mount Vernon, the Raiders seeded number 5, and Mount Vernon seeded number 7. Mount Vernon has a record of 14 wins and 6 losses. The coaches today, Jack Kaminer for Scarsdale in his 14th year, one of the best coaches in this section. He is assisted by Barry Berg and Art Resnock. 4th time in the last 5 years that Kaminer's brought Scarsdale into the final. Coached at New York City Wingate High School, 69-70 season, went undefeated, 20-0. Brought his team to the state finals at Scarsdale, 78-79. Other side of the coin, inexperience. Sums up Joe Galgano, a young guy just in his 20s, his first year. He was an assistant last year under Marshall Reif at Mount Vernon on the undefeated New York State Championship team. And his first year, what a job. He's done 14-6, and he has brought the #7 seeded team into the championship game of Class A, but he insists he wants more. He wants to win it.
Well, like you said the other night, we're not here for second place, we're here for first place.
The starters for Mount Vernon, the backcourt, Rich Cole, Dana Doggett, Derek Moses in the middle. The forwards, James Coutinho and Corey Brown, the best shooter for Scarsdale. Brian Weinstein, Ryan Knopp in the backcourt. Stephen Cooper in the middle, Brian Jordan, and leading scorer David Siegel, sharpshooter, the forwards for Scarsdale. Moments away from the Class A championship. And Mount Vernon gets it first. Scarsdale, as usual, back on D. This is Rich Cole, senior, with the ball, the point guard. He transferred from Mount St. Michael. And he gives it to Corey Brown, 24, best outside shooter. Scarsdale in the man-to-man. Shot missed, but Mount Vernon gets it from the tip. Brown with it. Opening minute, Class A championship. Eric Lubitz, Rob Astorino, Peter Archiel, Corey Brown. Way off from three, and he misses. But Rob, he's their #1 gunner from downtown.
Corey Brown can hit it from all over the place, and if he gets hot early, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Scarsdale.
This is Ryan Knopp. He's the point guard for Scarsdale, #24. Senior. In fact, all 5 starters for the Raiders are seniors. And already, Jack Kaminer is up to something as they will bring the ball out and try to force Mount Vernon out of their defense.
Eric, remember the other night we were talking to Jack Kaminer, and he said, well, I have a slow-down game, and now I've got an ultimate weapon, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. Maybe we'll see it today.
Maybe he's looking for a 2-0 win.
Like to see how long they waste here. They'd love to hold the ball each possession at least 2 minutes. The fans may not like this kind of offense, but Scarsdale, what they're trying to do here is they spread the floor, and what they're looking for is an overplay. They're looking for Mount Vernon to either lapse on defense or play one man too hard with a double team or whatever. And they're going to go to the open man and try to cut down in the lane or hit a baseline J or get, obviously, the back door.
There is the mastermind, Jack Kaminer, as his team is getting the layup. Brian Jordan.
That's it. That's just picture perfect. It's exactly what they wanted to do. I mentioned the back door. They found their overplay, and they swung it right down low.
Boy, they did that so well at Mount Vernon earlier in the year when they routed the Knights at home. Worst loss for Mount Vernon at home in some time. Great game, probably Scarsdale's best. These are the Knights down 2. Dana Doggett, and good defense by the Raiders. Knocked off a Jordan. It'll be Raider ball.
Jordan did the smart thing to have his hands up at all time there.
Night ball.
Things can happen. He knocks it out.
Corey Brown will inbound. The officials for today's game, and they are an experienced one. Dennis Hurley, Neil Bernigan to the top officials in the section. Shot no good. Raiders out with it. And again, let's see if they go back and pull the ball out again, and they will.
The officials are really looking for a different type of game today, because when you're underneath the basket or even the trailing official in a slow down type of game, what you're really looking for are the elbows, the body slams down in the paint. That's what's going to be called a lot today. In fact, Jack Kaminer, the head coach at Scarsdale, before the game was talking to both officials and said, I just want to remind you, I know what you're doing, but make sure you look for the arms and swinging, and I want those called. Because, we're going to get roughed up down below by Mount Vernon. They're bigger team, Mount Vernon.
And it's the first time Siegel has touched the ball 2 minutes, 50 seconds into the game. Here's Weinstein, the other guard, also a senior. Knopp is the guy that they want to hold, though, the point. Remember, they're not looking just to hold. They're looking to get an easy hoop, as they did the first time to Brian Jordan. Cooper's the guy in the middle, 30. Good defense by Mount Vernon, though.
It's not like the Knights haven't seen this style. Of course, they've played Scarsdale twice this year. They lost both times. But also in the sectionals, they played Suffern and John Jay with similar offenses where they spread it and go to a patience offense. So the Knights now know what to expect. Now they just got to do it on D.
Boy, Rich Cole has got to be tired. He's been out there with Weinstein and Knopp running around as Galgano refuses to get his team out of his zone. And Mount Vernon is such a better team now than they were about a month ago. really coming on. And Scarsdale, of course, knows it's tough to beat a team 3 times.
You know, this tempo is so slow. Galgano was standing up calmly, drinking a soda as he watched everything happen as Scarsdale kills another minute and a half.
And Rob, when you said the fans don't like it, what you meant was the Mount Vernon fans don't like it. The Scarsdale fans love it. They've come to know it. As Jack Hamner has done this year after year. This Scarsdale team with Siegel and Cooper have a couple talented players, but he's done this with untalented clubs. And there Siegel looked to shoot the 3. He can't. So what they want out of this is a backdoor layup to either Cooper or Jordan, or they'll take Siegel. They'll give Siegel the outside shot if he has it.
How many times do you think in practice they tried that, where Siegel is so far out and he's been told it looks real good, but hey, kick it back up top. Let's get a closer shot than a low percentage outside J.
And amazingly, the Raiders have not turned it over yet. They've been stalling throughout the first quarter. It's a shutout, 2-0. The Raiders lead it as the crowd is getting antsy, something they have not seen.
I've never seen a goose egg after 1 quarter for one team. Not that I'm rooting for it, but there's always a first, and the way Scarsdale's spreading the floor and passing right now,
Guys
I wouldn't be surprised with that.
That's right, Cooper in the post. There's Siegel.
See, Mount Vernon has 2 options. They can sit back and give Scarsdale all the time they want and force Scarsdale to make a mistake, or they can come up and challenge and make him pass the ball and try to go for the steal. But the problem with that is if you go for the steal and miss it, now somebody's open on Scarsdale and they can work it down or work that shot open. And that's what the Raiders want.
And now Kaminer wants Coutinho call for the foul. Coutinho and Jordan are all over each other, and the clock continues to tick down. 2:20 and counting. It is 2-0 Scarsdale in the Class A championship from the Westchester County Center. Joe Galgano will not give in. He's staying in his zone. If they go man-to-man, Scarsdale will simply backdoor his Knights to death. He knows that.
And Ryan Knopp can stand there as any player can with the ball all day unless someone challenges him.
And now the Knights step up the defensive pressure a little bit, but they're still back in the zone. Rich Cole, the only one out there running it away. You know, Mount Vernon's a deep team, but the clock hasn't stopped. They haven't been able to make any subs. They have all 5 guys in there.
The rule on this here as Knopp holds the ball is a defender can come out, and if he's within 6 feet, then the official starts clocking 5 seconds. If he doesn't get rid of the ball within 5, it's a turnover. Otherwise, if the defender backs off or stays back, he can hold it forever.
Now Vernon bench, they can't believe what they're seeing. Scarsdale's 1 for 1 from the field, early shooting. Now Vernon 0 for 2, shooting at 0%.
And we're almost 7 minutes into this first quarter.
We have not had a foul committed in this game. Mount Vernon has had a grand total of 2 possessions. This is Scarsdale's 2nd possession.
So a shot of Galgano and Visconti chewing that gum, waiting for something to happen.
Rich Cole will pick up the personal foul. Just number 1 on Mount Vernon.
I think Richie Cole and the rest of the night just got fed up with it and exhausted, and he just went out to make something happen. That'll happen a lot because if you're going to play a tight defense, you're going to be running around like crazy. And right now, for 6 minutes and 37 seconds, Scarsdale has held the ball without Mount Vernon having opportunity to shoot.
Now the Raiders are at the point where without Mount Vernon being able to pressure them, only Rich Cole out there, they surely will hold for 1 shot. 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. There you see it. It's not a misprint. Scarsdale has a 2-0 lead. The ultimate, according to Jack Kaminer, the ultimate storm. Now Mount Vernon's coming out to play him. Now Scarsdale will look for the back door.
Of course, if Scarsdale can sink a layup or hit a shot at the end here, it'll be just devastating for Mount Vernon to end 4-0 and not hold the ball at all.
And Cooper is fouled, and that will be on number 24, Corey Brown, the best defensive player for Galgano's Knights, and the second team foul on Mount Vernon.
Well, Pete Carroll, a.k.a. Jack Kaminer, is just loving everything he sees, and number 24, Corey Brown, just shuffle-stepped a little bit and hit him with the hands.
I'm sure Jack will take as a compliment being compared to Pete Carroll, the Princeton coach. Siegel off the iron, took it a little early, and Mount Vernon will have a whole 6 seconds to get a shot off. Cole, stolen, Siegel, 2 seconds.
Gonna run out of time. No
and
good.
He doesn't get it off.
Well, that's exactly what Scarsdale wanted. They won the quarter not only on the scoreboard, but they are controlling the game, and Mount Vernon doesn't know what to do after 8 minutes.
The odds of a shutout after one quarter, pretty high. Scarsdale by 2 after 1.
Anybody can use one of People's Westchester's automated teller machines. Conveniently located throughout Westchester County and available around the clock. Well, almost anybody. People's Westchester Savings Bank. A nice bank.
These days, a lot of drug deals take place in locker rooms. Unfortunately, a lot of these drug deals end up in a different kind of locker room. If you or someone you know has a drug problem, contact Habilitat. We can help.
And this just in, the over-under is 21.
Give me the under. It's a lock. How about this for a stat? You normally see this in football, not in basketball. Time of possession, Scarsdale 7 minutes and 35 seconds. Mount Vernon 25 seconds, no points.
Unbelievable stat. Total rebounds, each team with 1. Mount Vernon 1 turnover, Scarsdale with no turnovers. And they held the ball the entire quarter. Now Cooper Siegel, look at now, Mount Vernon has changed up here now. In the lane, Cooper!
They are doing everything right. Cooper worked his way free, cut down the lane, and he got it up and in.
So it's 4-0, Raiders by 4. Mount Vernon that time changed up the defenses, and it's 4-0 as they've been shut out for 8 minutes and 40 seconds. Brown can gun to 3, missed his only attempt so far. Rich Cole, there's still some Knights who haven't touched it. Coutinho, no. Cooper, no. Coutinho. So the big guy, James Coutinho, lays it in off the glass.
It took just about 9 minutes for Mount Vernon to score, and it's not because of lack of opportunities. Rather, it is because of lack of opportunities, what I meant to say. They didn't have the ball at all.
They sliced the lead in half. It's 4-2, and the Raiders again will pull it out. Mount Vernon's in their man. Jack Cameron has his witch. Siegel in the lane, and he's fouled. And that'll be the 3rd team foul on Mount Vernon. Dana Doggett, good defensive player, commits the foul here. He doesn't think he had it, Ralph.
Yeah, well, Doggett, you see, his right leg didn't even get planted yet as he was coming in. His left leg wasn't even in place. So I think it was a good call by the officials.
First person on Doggett, as we mentioned, 3rd on Mount Vernon. Jordan had his man up in the air.
Yeah, but he also had Coutinho right in front of him.
Raiders want the backdoor now. Mount Vernon playing the man-to-man. And Scarsdale will try to pick. And now we have another foul. This will be Corey Brown. And that'll be number 2 on Brown. Galgano doesn't like the call.
Slowly but surely, Mount Vernon is edging their way towards their 7th team foul. That'll put Scarsdale in the 1-1. And these are 4 fouls away from the ball. And that's exactly what I'd mentioned earlier, where Jack Cameron told the officials, watch out for the elbows down low.
You get the feel watching this game that it's been all Scarsdale, yet they are 2 points ahead. Siegel got it to an open Jordan. Missed the shot, and it's tipped into the hands of Coutinho by Derek Moses. Moses, one of the 2 transfers from Mount St. Michael.
I guess you can call that possession their fast break, huh?
3, Corey Brown way off again, and Weinstein got it. He was pounded by Brown. And Brown obviously committed a foul, and he can't believe the call.
I tell you one thing, Mount Vernon better be a little more patient on their offense, or they're going to spend their whole day on defense. You miss a shot, you're looking at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes on defense, and they'll be dead by the end of the game, because on defense, you're constantly moving and reacting. You don't know where the ball's going to go.
That's certainly a good point. 3 fouls on Corey Brown. Newton Gale, the 6th man of Mount Vernon, into the game, and he's been their best player of late. Number 33, big 6'5" guy. We keep an eye on Newton. Under 6 to go, first half, Class A championship. Scarsdale 4, Mount Vernon 2. No, it's not soccer, it's basketball. Cooper, and it counts. Weinstein with a great pass.
Just a fantastic play by Cooper and the whole offense. So many players touched that ball, but they knew what the end result was going to be, or at least who it was supposed to go to. Cooper slides down and eventually slides on the floor after the shot. He was a little off balance. He gets the feet, and look, nobody's near him, not 3 feet near him. And that's exactly what the backdoor is expected to do, and he puts it in the net.
Coutinho, nothing to do but foul. Didn't want to give the hoop as well as the foul. And in 10 minutes, Scarsdale has taken all of 4 shots from the field. Cooper misses the free throw. And down with it, Moses and the Knights. They trail it by a score of 6-2. Now the Knights have to watch that they are patient on offense a little bit themselves. Gale off the iron, hard rebound, comes out to Siegel.
Cooper gave him room and almost drew the offensive foul.
And Jordan blocked.
Good no call, good no call.
Here come the Knights. Scarsdale back on D. Cole will bring it out.
Uh-oh, beat him. He had Cooper beat.
Shot missed by Doggett. And now Knopp looks to run. Weinstein takes it himself. And he gets the defensive foul call. And boy, the Mount Vernon people not happy with that one.
Well, Dana Doggett's going to get the whistle. That's the 7th team foul. It'll be a shooting foul. Watch Doggett as he plants his foot, and he went with it the upper body a little bit. I don't know. That could have been an offensive charging violation. Close call. They give it to the offense, though.
Weinstein will go to the line. The off guard for Scarsdale. They now 0 for 2 from the line. Traditionally an excellent free throw shooting team, but they missed 4 1-and-1s late against Spring Valley in the semis. Lucky to escape with a win, and they're not shooting well today from the line.
Now the last 3 games they've been shooting very poorly from the line.
Cole, good, and it counts.
Beautiful lean in by Richie Cole. Kaminer doesn't like it. Galgano does, and the Mount Vernon Knights have a chance to get back to within 1 here.
And that really, the first offense we've seen out of the Knights. Rich Cole, very physical, just out-athleted the defense there. Blew by his man, and Siegel picks up the first foul. Cole hits the free throw, and the Knights climb within 1.
Obviously very important for the Knights on each offensive possession to put it in, because they're going to spend time on defense. Before they know it, they're going to be late in the 4th quarter down by a few.
Against Mount Vernon, now only down 1, back in the zone, so we might see Scarsdale just do nothing with it again, because only 1 player now is out, and that is Doggett.
For many reasons, Scarsdale not trying to develop an inside game here, and that's 2 reasons. 32, Derek Moses, and 33, Newton Gale, both at 6'5". But really, this offense, the style of play is not designed to get an inside game, not designed to get penetration, with the exception of the backdoor play. So they keep it up top with the guards, pass the ball, including the skip pass, which is used effectively from wing to wing, avoiding the point guard.
And now Mount Vernon comes out again. So now Scarsdale will look back door. Kaminer wants his team to take it out. We're midway in the 2nd quarter from the Westchester County Center. The Class A championship, rematch of last year. Mount Vernon, Scarsdale, the Raiders lead at 6-5. Kevin Cooper with it. Now the Raiders will hold. They've gone with the same 5. Weinstein, Knopp in the backcourt. Cooper, Jordan, Siegel up front. Cooper has 4 of the Raiders' 6 points. David Siegel, their leading scorer, hasn't even been able to get a shot off. Actually had 1 shot off and missed it. And there, almost another one. And he thought he was fouled, got the ball back. So that's what they'll do. Look to get Siegel the shot if they can. If they can't get the easy one, Mount Vernon doing a great job on defense, not letting themselves be vulnerable to the back door like they were earlier in the year.
Brian Jordan, number 32, who just had the ball. Sometimes he floats down low and tries to pick one of the Knights. You better be careful. He got away with an illegal pick earlier, and they're going to start calling that if he does it again.
Scarsdale's committed 1 team foul in the first half. Under 3 to go.
And they've held the ball for over 80%.
The Raiders are, rather the Knights are over the limit, so Scarsdale will go to the line if they're fouled. So maybe surprising that, well, now Kaminer's not going to give in. He wants Galgano to go get him, and here we go.
That's right. He's trying to bait him into coming out, firing the ball down low, and finding the open man for the easy layup. They almost went.
That's right. Doggett almost with the steal, using his quickness. Weinstein will hold. Very experienced. Weinstein came off the bench last year. Good ball handler, true point guard. But Knopp is the guy who's pretty much at the point, but Weinstein can play it too. You put Siegel and Jordan in there, good ball handlers. They really don't have anyone who's afraid to touch it. Here's the other guy in the mix, Cooper. We're coming up to 2 minutes. 6-5. The winner advances to the state Class A tournament. Play the Class 9 representative. Of course, Mount Vernon, the defending state champions. Weinstein in trouble. And he gets out of it. And now Mount Vernon putting the pressure on. And there's a foul. Not a good one by Derek Moses.
No, not a good one at all. Maybe a little frustration. Maybe a little fatigue. He stuck his arm in there and took the foul with 1:41 to go.
Now, because of a weird style of game, Jack Kaminer will have, for the first time, to look at Mount Vernon's other super sub, John McDonald, number 15, super shooter, into the game.
Take a look at it again. He had him in his corner. He had him going the right way. If he stood there, he could have drawn the offensive foul. He didn't have much room to go anywhere, did not. But instead, he reached in, and Moses gets flagged for his first.
Scarsdale connects on their first free throw of the basketball game. Now 1 for 4. Ryan Knopp's first point. The lead is back to 2. Make it 3.
13 minutes they've held the ball. 13 out of 16 so far.
They lead at 8-5. Mount Vernon has so few possessions they can't afford a bad shot. Scarsdale playing tight defense here, and they try for the steal, and we get the jump. An alternate possession will go to Mount Vernon. Now, good play by Scarsdale.
Galgano jumping up and down, almost flew out of his suspenders as he felt the ball was out of bounds on Scarsdale.
And wow, Galgano must be saying, oh, what a nightmare, because his team has just been playing so well the last 2 games. They got here, and he wants a shot of winning this, and Jack Kaminer's taking his team out of it. In the lane, Newton Gale, the first we've seen of the big guy, the junior, who had 20 points in the big win over number 2 seed, John Jay.
Nice shot by Gale with the jump, one-hander, finds the net.
Right, he has to, oh, steal! Cole!
Well, forget about going to sleep. Somebody just woke up the Knights. They pick it off, and they're up by 1.
Mount Vernon's first lead, 9-8. It took 15 minutes, but they got their first steal, and Cole took advantage of it.
Now look at them react on defense. They're much tighter now. They're playing much closer. They don't want to give up the basket.
Cooper misses.
Well,
Gale with the rebound.
The Knights, if they could go up by 3 at the half, that would be a major, major victory. Not holding the ball at all, not even getting the opportunities, but when they do get it, they put it in.
And now the crowd going wild. 19 seconds. Mount Vernon is the team holding for 1 now.
Turning the tables on Kaminer, going for the last shot.
This is John McDonald, just a sophomore. Been one of the hottest nights of late. Gets it to Cole, way outside. No time left. And Weinstein holds on to it. So in one of the most unusual halves we've ever seen, neither team hits double figures. It is a 9-8 lead. We're hopeful of getting Peter Arciello to speak with one of the head coaches for a moment. I see Joe Galgano on his way over toward Peter. I'm sure Joe wants to talk to his team because this is a wild one. And Peter has Joe right now. Peter?
Scarsdale went into the typical stall. The kids, what you do to try to counter it? I think we just played our game. We're trying to counteract maybe a little, go with a little reverse psychology. And I think it kind of took them out of sync because they didn't shoot the ball as much as I think they like to.
When they're in the stall, you got to keep the big guys aware down low.
Yes, without a doubt. They got to be active and they got to be in help.
Gave them a little taste of their own medicine in the last 20 seconds.
Well, let's hope it works in the second half.
Good luck in the second half. Eric, back to you.
All right, Rob. In the chess match, it's Mount Vernon by a pawn, 9-8 at halftime. We come back and we'll have our halftime for you next.
Ever notice that when you like what you do a better job? At the Thruway Diner, we enjoy providing you with great food and friendly service. If you want to take your time, or if you're in a hurry, we move at your pace. From a snack to a feast, you know that the ingredients are fresh daily, with home baking done on premises. Bring your whole family in for dinner to the place where a good deal never goes out of style. Our breakfast and lunch menu is perfect for business people on the go. The Thruway Diner, Main Street, New Rochelle, open 24 hours.
March gears up for another month of big-time sports action on MSG Network. The New York Rangers look to keep pace with the NHL's best. They battle the Montreal Canadiens, the New Jersey Devils, and the rival New York Islanders. The New York Knicks are hanging tough with some rough NBA competition. They face the Denver Nuggets, the Portland Trailblazers, plus Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. March means the return of New York Yankees baseball. Catch the 92 Bombers as they take on the Montreal Expos, the Atlanta Braves, and the New York Mets in spring training action. College basketball hits tournament time with the start of March Madness. Catch heated matchups from across the country featuring the Big 8, Atlantic 10, Southwest, and Big East conferences. See more of all the hitting and fast-paced action from one of the hottest sports in the country. It's the Major Indoor Lacrosse League. Plus, you can always catch the latest sports news, highlights, and local scholastic sports coverage with MSG Sports Desk. March is a spring thing with red-hot sports action on MSG Network, the best in the game.
There it is, Mount Vernon 9, Scarsdale 8. We've played 16 minutes.
Let me tell you, Scarsdale is winning this game their way. They're doing it the way they want to do it. This was their game plan all along. Mount Vernon should have known this is going to be the game plan, but it's tough to execute. You got to pull out the guards and really force the defense, rather the offense, to make their mistakes.
And the Raiders certainly aren't interested in making anybody have a good time watching the game. They just want to win. Speaking of winning, our Pete Archiello is with a winning guy. Let's go to Peter now for our interview. Pete?
Thank you, Eric. Down on the court here with Tony Viteri, member of the Mount Vernon School Board, also a longtime NFL official, still with the NFL. When was the last time you saw a 9-8 Mount Vernon basketball game at half?
I can't ever remember seeing that. It's smart basketball if you know you're playing against a good club, but it's not enjoying. No one wants to see that. I know I don't, and I don't think anybody, here does either.
You've lived in Mount Vernon a long time. You've seen all the great ones, all the great ones. Tell me a little bit about some of the guys, the ones that you remember, the great ones, the McRaes and such.
Well, I remember Gus Williams, Ray Williams, and the McRae brothers and Tatum, and they've all made us real proud of them. They've all did well. They've all went to college. Is what we want, all our students to go to college, but and we also want them to take advantage of their ability of being a good athlete, because you know yourself today that helps you get into college, and that's what we want for our students.
This team, this year's Mount Vernon team, a new coach. I know you were involved in the process of selecting the new coach. Tell us a little bit about that process. I'm sure you had some great applicants.
Yes, we were sort of disappointed when our past coach, decided to retire. Why, I don't really know. And we put it down to two applicants, and we felt that Joe was the best qualified. Being with the team, coaching the junior varsity, knowing the kids. And the thing that I liked about him more so than anything else, discipline, and he was all for education. And he thrives on getting these kids to go to college.
Right. There was a little concern, though, because he is rather young. Did that ever enter in the decision-making process?
No, because of it, he coached for so many years in our system, and it wasn't youth. I mean, you got to give the young kids a break today. If that's the case, then only old-timers are going to get all the breaks. And he had all the qualifications, no ifs, ands, or buts, and that's why I really pushed for him.
I guess someone gave you a break about 31 years ago in the NFL. And tell us a little bit about what you started doing and how it progressed.
I started out young. I started out 36 years old in the pros, and you know, let's face it, if we didn't get a break or I didn't get a break, I wouldn't be around. And if you're qualified, I will give anybody a job if they're qualified. Come hell or high water, what they are, where they're from, or what have you. You got the qualifications, and it's just like when we hire our teachers. You got that certificate, and you're, well, I'm a little prejudiced to Mount Vernon. If they go through our school system, I want to help them more so. If they come back and they want a job, I'm going to go all out for them, because it makes me proud. It's a role model for the kids that go to our school, that you can go through Mount Vernon High School and you can become something. And that's what I want.
Okay, Tony Viteri, thank you for your time. It's nice to see somebody who grew up, born and raised in a place and still supports the team.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more halftime festivities after these messages.
Le mouton est blanc. Le mouton est blanc. Répétez.
Le mouton est blanc.
All across the country, cable television is beginning to change the way we live. In small ways. And in more important ways. And today, no one brings cable television to more people than TCI.
Okay. I'll give you 2 Toby Bartles for 1, Danny Baxter.
Barlow couldn't buy a Wicked.
A few years ago, TCI brought cable television to the people of Fergus County, Montana. Residents report, Fergus County hasn't been the same place since.
Hot enough for you, Red?
Well, actually, Merle, recent meteorological trends do appear to validate suppositions about global warming, the so-called greenhouse effect, as it were. Fill her up.
And the stats for the first half of this one, and they look pretty scary. Mount Vernon shooting just 36%, 4 for 11. Scarsdale just 3 for 7, only 18 shots in all. From the line, Mount Vernon, 1,000%, 100%, 1 for 1. Scarsdale, 2 for 5. Only 10 rebounds total, only 2 turnovers, and only 2 3-point shots. Leading scorers for Mount Vernon, Rich Cole with 5 points. James Coutinho and Newton Gale each with 2. The rest of the guys did not score. Stephen Cooper, the big man for Scarsdale, has 4. Brian Jordan, Ryan Knopp have 2. David Siegel, their leading scorer, the goose egg.
That's right, the goose egg, but it doesn't really matter because they're doing the job. They're winning by that 1 point.
All right, so Mount Vernon with a 9-8 halftime lead. We'll come back second half next.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Back at the county center. That is the trophy which awaits the winner. And so far it's Mount Vernon 9, Scarsdale 8, but real close game throughout. But if you had time possession, I think that would already be in Scarsdale's high school.
An amazing statistic. 13 minutes and 18 seconds of the 16 minutes in the first half were controlled and owned by Scarsdale. And that explains, obviously, the scoreboard at 9-8. I want to defend Scarsdale a little bit here. A lot of folks saying it's boring, a lot of the fans yelling, and people say, we didn't pay $5 to see this. But, you know, that trophy that you just saw, it's for one of these 2 teams to take home and put in their school. Scarsdale has gotten here because of that style offense. Princeton does it. Everyone says they do a great job, and they're always great in the NCAAs. Scarsdale beat Spring Valley 45-43. Scarsdale also beat New Rochelle 47-45. That's their style, folks. They shut New Rochelle out for 5 minutes at one point in the game, and they're doing it again to Mount Vernon.
Well, they never did this against them. They played patient, slow down, looking for the good shot, but they never did this. This is 9-8, 7.5 to go, and now Mount Vernon will have one guy come out again. Now, Galgano's theory is, hey, we have the lead right now. You can stay out there all you want. Scarsdale will say fine. Jack Cavender's club, though, I'm a little surprised because his club can play with this Mount Vernon team, though I guess he knows how Mount Vernon has improved, and he certainly didn't want to get into a shootout with the Knights.
Definitely not. You know, I think what I might do is, if I were Mount Vernon, I might go into a 2-2-1 zone or a 2-3 zone. Force the guards out. Stay back there a little while, because on defense, as I said earlier, they're getting really tired in this man-to-man, and that's exactly what Scarsdale wants, because by the fourth quarter, they'll be fresh. Mount Vernon won't be. They'll be huffing and puffing out there.
Raiders have played just 5 players. They've committed a whopping 1 team foul so far, that on David Siegel.
Another thing about that 2-2-1 zone, it slows down the tempo, which we don't need any more of that, but it also induces turnovers. You can jump out there with the 2-on-2 and poke away the ball and go for that fast break and get a cheap basket.
Corey Brown is shadowing David Siegel. Now, if they get Siegel open, the Raiders will be glad to have him shoot it. But Brown, the best Knight player, is all over Siegel.
Knights haven't touched the ball in the second half. 2 minutes gone by.
So Mount Vernon in a patient man-to-man, and Brown and Siegel all over each other. Brown is holding him, and he's talking to him. He's talking to Siegel, taking David out of his game, pushing him around a little bit. And David wants it. Siegel wearing number 21, trying to pick him up on the floor, being shot out by 24 in the maroon, Corey Brown. 5.5 to go, as you see. Quarter 3. This is the first possession of the third quarter. Scarsdale trailing 9-8.
Good play that time.
Remember, they
not to shoot.
Haven't got it to Siegel. Brown and Siegel. The matchup now. There's Cooper. Loses it. Jordan picks it up.
If it would have been a clean pass and a clean grab, you might have had the easy 2.
Cross court back to Knott. Weinstein approaching 5 minutes in the third. Still nobody in double figures. Scarsdale trailing 9-8. That was our halftime score. Knott had the 3. For Siegel, he would have taken it. And they have not been able to get it to Siegel. And what a job by Corey Brown on defense. Has been talking to Siegel and shadowing him. And he loves to play defense. Brown would rather play defense than offense any day.
See, what happens here is Cooper comes up top
in the lane, and he's fouled. Ryan Knopp found him.
That was Cooper's play all the way. It was designed for him. He comes up top, takes it on the high post, sends it down in the corner, and slashes down the lane. You'll see it again. And that time, nobody was in the paint to block him. This is exactly what Scarsdale wants to do. See, now he gets the feed. Well, that's the end of the play. He had the feed from the top of the key, sent it down, and was waiting for it. He shot the gap.
And Cooper misses it, but a no-no. Coutinho and Corey Brown lose it out of bounds.
Maybe a little mental error there. Who's got the ball? You got to call it. You got to be ready for it.
Derek Moses back in the lineup for Mount Vernon. He an original starter replacing Coutinho. Newton Gale is in there. Weinstein inbound, no one on him.
Almost a steal.
And it's, it'll be Scarsdale ball as Knopp almost lost it. And now Siegel inbound for midcourt. Brown all over him again.
Siegel had pressure and was running out of time to get the ball in. So he almost telegraphed where he was going with it. And Richie Cole knew it and got a hand on it.
Now it's Scarsdale lead. Look for the Raiders to get backdoor here. They're starting to pick. And they got it to Siegel.
You know, it was amazing. 16 game minutes took about 18 real minutes to play in that first half.
Approaching the midway point, third quarter. It's been a barn burner, 10-9. Old-time basketball purists must love this game.
Mr. Naismith, he's smiling somewhere.
Siegel, 3.
Ooh! Beautiful. Siegel taking it from downtown instead of trying to work it down low. And that's big because the Raiders now have a 4-point lead.
Biggest lead in the game, and now Vernon loses it. Corey Brown, despite his shadowing of Siegel, has not had a good basketball game. Mount Vernon will call timeout. Scarsdale winning the mental game and the basketball game by 4.
Good timeout by Galgano. His team on the verge of being down by possibly 6. They're down by 4 right now. And you give Scarsdale a 6 or an 8-point lead, and you know
Go 5 right now.
they're going to hold the ball for the rest of the game. May not even ever shoot.
That pick and roll. You set a screen, nobody talked, and nobody got over the top. If you go behind, then what is it to leave it open? A 3-point shot. You got to fight over the top. You have to. If you're behind him, he's got a shot.
Deny hard now.
Okay? Deny hard.
Push out,
Help on the weak side. Push up on both sides. Help on weak side. Okay? Let's go. Let's go. That's it. Let's go. 9:49. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Let's see Siegel again from long range. He got a nice screen that time from Brian Jordan. Enough time for him to set, put his eyes on the hoop, and fire it through.
And Siegel's going to hit the 3 if you give it to him. And it took 2.5 quarters for him to get open from downtown, and he finally did off the screen, and he hit it.
Siegel had about half of his points, half his team's points in their 45-43 win. He ended up with 22.
Well, Siegel and Cooper take the majority of shots for the Raiders.
As the steal.
Cole again.
Good play by Knopp not to foul him. If you're going to let him go, let him go. You could put some pressure in other ways by banging your foot to the floor or screaming behind him. Let him know you're there, but not foul him and give up 3.
Lead down to 2, and deflected off McDonald. It'll remain Scarsdale basketball. So Cole has done this twice now. The only 2 turnovers of the day. Rich Cole's quick hands, and 2 steals converted to layups. 13-11.
Cole with 7 of those points.
Siegel again. Gets it to Cooper. Cooper shot way off McDonald with it.
I don't think that's what Kaminer wanted, that shot selection.
He's been hot, McDonald. Can't get it, and a great play by Siegel because number 33, Newton Gale, had position. Cooper didn't box him out properly on that one, and Siegel made a nice play to knock it out of bounds.
Now Vernon's picking up the pace a little bit here, trying to ruffle the feathers of Scarsdale on that last possession. And on the other end, Scarsdale shot it pretty fast from the baseline rather than kicking it back up top and looking for the open man.
There's Gale. Doggett has not scored. Now Cole. Scarsdale matching up. Cole the drive. Good! Offensive foul.
Dennis Hurley calls the offensive foul. So this could be a big 5-point turnaround if the Red Raiders and Scarsdale could come back on the other side. Now let's see if it's an offensive foul here. Of course, on the defense, you've got to have your feet planted. You've got to be in place.
Well, we'll hopefully get to that at the next stoppage. Scarsdale by 2. Now Mount Vernon has really put the pressure on. And this is backdoor opportunity, or else Mount Vernon is going to get a steal. They got one last time down with Cole.
Everyone on the move right now.
Cooper by Gale. Had the play, blew the shot.
Also had Jordan trailing down the lane, looking for that feed. It would have been a better option, I think.
But Kaminer will take that every time. Cooper with a nice move. Had the layup on the drive. And missed it. For the tie. Doggett, no. Here's Siegel. Oh, and he's fouled, and Corey Brown will pick up number 4. And Corey, very intense basketball player. One of the only returning members from last year's great team, which won the sectional championship. He, in fact, started for part of the year. So he knows what it's like to win, and he'll go to the bench with his 4th foul, though. He has not been happy with any call today.
At Mount Vernon last year, 24-0 when they came in under Marshall Reef with David John Ming and Dean Marshman and Salahuddin and the rest of them, but they're all gone now. It's up to the new guys.
That's right. They won the game here against Scarsdale, winning Class A, and then won the state championship, finished a glowing 29-0. Minute 20, 13-11. Scarsdale by a bucket.
Galgano's doing now on defense is he's playing a lot tighter on defense, the man-to-man. Everyone's in motion right now rather than letting Scarsdale sit back and set up.
Back door, and Jordan is pushed. Oh, he's called for traveling.
I think it's a pretty good call, actually. He came down with the stutter step, and I think it was incidental contact on that one, so a good no whistle.
That's what the Raiders want, the back door. So traveling on Jordan, final minute, third quarter. Scarsdale by a bucket. And now Jordan will get called for the foul. So Jordan didn't like the call on either end. And this is just the first team foul for the Raiders in the second half, second in the contest.
I'll tell you one thing, if it stays like this, Mount Vernon's going to win the game. Because they've taken Scarsdale out of their system. And they're forcing things, they're making things happen, even though they're not getting it in the bucket right now. But those will start to fall.
Three, way off. And here's Siegel.
So now the Raiders are on the run.
Jordan stripped away by McDonald. Nice play by the sophomore John McDonald. Now, the type of game it is with Scarsdale having the ball, we don't get a chance to talk about a lot of the plays, but McDonald really is matured. Just a sophomore, but at Mount Vernon's going to be a mainstay of the team the next couple years. As Galgano says, really mature past his years.
A good play by McDonald. So often you'll be tempted to follow the head or the body.
And Siegel gets the good timeout.
You'll follow the head or the body, and you can get fooled that way. What he did is follow the ball in the feet, and he knew where it was going to go, and he was able to knock it away.
Good pressure that time by Mount Vernon's defense. And Siegel did the smart thing, calling the timeout. 39 seconds to go. Let's listen in to Jack Cameron. Always goofing around, but he is a serious
We want to walk out of this quarter up. We want the ball in. We're going to run two, but it's red. Let's get the ball in. Bring it out. Bring it out. We're not going into David. Look to bring it out. If they're not guarding you, you dribble it out. We run motion red. We end the quarter with stack magic. You penetrate. Remember, big cut, penetrate towards David's side. You act as though you're going across the lane. Hop back out. Now, you make yourself big low. So Ryan has either option. Then you got to get back quickly. If you got to strip someone, if they make a steal or something, strip them early. Here we go.
You know, Rob, Jack has one advantage. You know, when he's coaching these guys, which guys, you know, have 99 averages, you know, they're able to do a little bit more. And he certainly takes advantage of his great wealth of coaching experience. And with the type of kid at Scarsdale, the two have been a perfect match.
What they wanted to do here, they want to stack it, and when you go off the stack, then you spread out on the wing and take an outside shot. I guess Jack did not want to go inside here and go against the big Mount Vernon man. But he also said, hey, worst comes to worst, just be ahead by the end of the quarter.
Yeah, he'll take that. And now they're counting 5 seconds off. Cooper puts it on the floor. Remember, if the defensive player gets in the offensive player's face, he has 5 seconds to do something with it.
They'll probably start making their move at around 9.
They're way outside now. See what they do now. Cooper!
Oh! I love it. I love to watch how they play because they do it so right. They left no room for Mount Vernon to score and take away any momentum they could have at the end of the quarter.
Just like Professor Kaminer drew it up. Some may say it's like going to the dentist, but Scarsdale's happy. They lead by 4.
Did you ever notice that when you like what you do a better job? At the Thruway Diner, we enjoy providing you with great food and friendly service. If you want to take your time, or if you're in a hurry, we move at your pace. From a snack to a feast, you know that the ingredients are fresh daily, with home baking done on premises. Bring your whole family in for dinner to the place where a good deal never goes out of style. Our breakfast and lunch menu is perfect for business people on the go. The Thruway Diner, Main Street, New Rochelle, open 24 hours.
It's just a TV show. To us, it's a living hell.
It's a TV viewing experience.
Weeknights at 7 Eastern on A&E.
It's already been a great year for Scarsdale. First time that they've ever beaten Mount Vernon twice in a year. First time in a while they've won their league. And now they're trying to add to it, and there's a big steal.
Now, oh, they're going to get an easy basket here. Oh, what a block!
Newton Gale. Siegel.
They're up by 6, and this is like a 60-point deficit for Mount Vernon. If Scarsdale continues to have their way, they'll hold this ball every time they get it.
Right, a Scarsdale 6-point lead, a lot bigger than that. Great play by Siegel after the phenomenal block by Newton Gale. And Gale is fouled.
Eric just looking at the time of possession again through 3 quarters. 19 minutes and 37 seconds of the 24 were held by Scarsdale in that third period. Again, 3 quarters of it, 6:19.
Knights trail by 6. What a year for Coach Joe Galgano, having to play this team 3 times. They certainly haven't had too many bad losses. Gale misses, Siegel the rebound, and guess what they're going to do now?
So many people say it's just about impossible to beat a team 3 times in one season, but not when you have a perfect game like Scarsdale's had thus far.
And he played very well. Cooper sees Jordan.
Ronald Kemp made the error of trying to help out his teammate there. And they tried trapping him with a 2-on-1, but unfortunately, Superstar's teammate, they were able to convert, and now it's an 8-point lead, and real tough going for Galgano. They're going to have to start making things happen. He even might want to start fouling them later on, because 6:44 is not much time the way Scarsdale plays. You can see
Cooper very unselfish.
But
perfect pass, the bounce pass. Jordan cuts to the hoop. See, everyone does their role correctly. And Scarsdale has an 8-point lead as they've dictated the tempo, certainly in this one. Scarsdale shooting 7 for 13 from the field. Mount Vernon had 5 out of 14. Each team with 4, 3 rebounds respectively. Rather, actually 9 rebounds for Mount Vernon to Scarsdale's 4. But the numbers have all been low.
They're not really converting on their second and third shots, though, and that's the problem. They've had some opportunities off the missed shot, but they haven't made them, and as you can see on the scoreboard, they only have 11 points. Scarsdale with 19, and Mount Vernon has got to do a lot to change this tempo and create some havoc out there. Force Scarsdale to make some mistakes, change the ball, and they make some fast breaks. That's the only way Mount Vernon's going to do it.
You add up the points for Mount Vernon in the first and third quarters, and they have 2. They got 9 in the second quarter. Cole. Gale, good offensive rebound. And that's the reason why college scouts from all over looking at Newton Gale. Other side, Jordan gets the roll. And the ball rolls away, so the clock stops. Scarsdale will run if they have a chance, and that time they have 2-on-1. Jordan got the layup.
Yeah, the only time they'll run is if the percentage is very high in their favor. 3-on-1s, 4-on-1s, or certain 2-on-1s. Otherwise, they'll hold it up.
Corey Brown bombs away. Weinstein with the rebound. Everybody's contributed.
Siegel crashed the boards on that one.
They've gone all the way. Brian Weinstein, Ryan Opp, Stephen Cooper, Brian Jordan, David Siegel. And Jack Kaminer in there inside each one of their heads. Now Vernon stepping up the defense now. They trail it by 8. The number 7 seed.
Look how high Cooper is just trying to suck Newton Gale up top, and then he's going to switch around him and shoot down below and look for that feed like they did so well earlier.
Clock is a factor, 5.5 and counting. And Weinstein is fouled. McDonald thought he had the ball that time, but he gets the foul call.
As I was saying earlier, Gale, number 33, playing up on Cooper. He's got to be careful not to get in front of him, because Cooper will just roll around and go down towards the basket and get that high looping pass, and he'll have an uncontested layup.
Well, you can't envy Mount Vernon right now, because they have to do the near impossible. Down 8, and Scarsdale can't hold it. Remember, traveling and Ryan up. And Jack Kaminer's not happy with that call.
I don't know, not a bad call. Not enough for me to argue that it wasn't.
McDonald. No good. Rebound Siegel.
Siegel got way up there. A 6'2.5" frame. Jumped high.
And the Knights not being patient enough. And Cooper thought about it, but they'll bring it out. Remember, clock is on their side. .445, 21-13. The Knights trailing the Raiders.
Cole better be careful. He's playing tenacious. Trying to go for the steal. Almost went for a double team trap. But he gets another whistle. I think he's gone. Yeah, time's running out, Joe. 4:40 to go.
But what a job he's done, though, in his first year. Al Visconti alongside with him. The number 7 seed here in the tournament. They lost all 5 starters. And to show up in the championship game, I know it's a lot of pressure to count Mount Vernon because they've had so much success there in the past. But with this team, Galgano has just done a Class A job. Siegel. Blocked by Gale, but the break to the Raiders. Stole by Cole.
That's what they need to do, although they have to start doing it quicker. They can't allow a minute or two to go by each possession. But as long as they play tight man-to-man, they'll have an opportunity for that.
Cole with 9. He leads Mount Vernon. He has 3 steals, which he's all converting to easy layups. At a Mount St. Michael, where he transferred from along with teammate Derek Moses. But these two are not impact players for the Mounts. They came into the program. Dana Doggett, James Catino, the JV steal.
2 in a row.
The sophomore, McDonald. Offensive foul again.
I want to call timeout, Kaminer. That's 2 quick steals. Something's breaking down. 2 steals in about the same area.
But hey, the good defense, the Raiders had the position.
See it again. This is the end of the play. And a foul that time on Stephen Cooper. Rather, they call that, is that on Cooper?
Now it's on Mount Vernon. Offensive foul on Johnny McDonald. Brian Weinstein had the position that time. Well, you know, tough to tell from a replay. But they call, you see, in high school ball, they call a lot of that the offensive foul. If it's close, it seems to be they've been being consistent and giving the offensive foul. So 21-15, Galgano's team trailing by 6.
2 possessions. Do you know after basket we're in 12? Okay? After basket we're in 12. Corey's on the ball. You're back. You're the 3-man in 12. See, I got him. Let's go. Let him move. All about Dingo.
Well, the 12 might be either a diamond in 1 press, which is a 1-2-1-1, or a 1-2-2 zone. Either way, I think they're going to start trying to force the trap and the pressing. Scarsdale's own side of the court, come up with some steals, or keep them within the 10 seconds.
Well, Mount Vernon, very successful the last couple games with their press. It's what turned it around for them. And here we go, full court.
It is a diamond and 1.
Siegel double team.
And Scarsdale, which they have done all season long, breaks the press very well. Now, Vernon, not a great team with the press. They're not too quick off the ball.
Boy, are they patient. And they're a very good passing club. Not almost a bad pass. Weinstein now with it, approaching the 3-minute mark. The Raiders by 6.
Well, I hope Mount Vernon knows which Red Raider to foul, because they're going to have to start doing it now with 3 minutes to go. I know it's a lot of time, but, you know, they're not going to have the ball, and they're not going to have many possessions. So force the Red Raiders, who've been pretty cold on the line the last couple of games, to win it from the line, or at least to keep their lead from the line.
Doggett committed the personal foul. That is number 3 on Dana, the junior guard from Mount Vernon. Only junior starting in the Knights lineup.
No more fouls for Mount Vernon to give. Next time they get a whistle, Scarsdale will shoot.
That will be what Mount Vernon will want if they can't get the steal. You probably don't want to put Siegel on the line, their best shooter. Now. Oh, did he travel?
Yep, he did. As he was falling down, both feet slid on the floor before he could scoop it away, and another good call. We saw something like that earlier on.
Seventh turnover in the second half for Scarsdale.
That's real quick.
Corey Brown, baseline. Big possession for Mount Vernon. For some reason, brings it out, spreading the floor. Scarsdale in the man. Cole picks up the foul as he draws it. Weinstein and number 32, Brian Jordan. Sandwich of Weinstein gets the foul.
That's a simple blocking foul. Wasn't in place. Got him with the body. Third team foul.
So Scarsdale still with 3 to give. 2:17 to go. They just want to play good defense right now. Mount Vernon, meanwhile, hits 3. In and out. That would have been a big one for Dana Doggett. And now, no foul call is Corey Brown. And Brian Weinstein had a pushing match. Oh, and now Brown and Weinstein. Corey Brown, off camera, threw an elbow at Brian Weinstein. And Corey Brown has been so frustrated by the type of play.
That foul's going to go against John McDonald. Scoreboard has 2. PA announcer said 3.
Believe it is McDonald's third. Knob to the line for Scarsdale. Hit one of his 2 attempts today. 21-15, 2:04 to go. Tempers starting to flare among the players on the court. Gotta be frustrating for Mount Vernon.
No doubt about it.
To play this type of game.
Only 15 points scored in 30 minutes of play.
And you know, it brings up the age-old question: should there be a clock in high school basketball? And I personally love seeing this kind of play, but I probably do think there should be a clock, because if players are going to go up to the next level, they're going to have to get used to it anyway. Both by Knob. Back to the biggest lead for the Raiders, 8, and now it's time for Mount Vernon to start shooting some threes. Corey Brown's their best 3-point shooter. Doggett in the lane. Good. First bucket for Doggett, who's got a good jumper.
He's very good off that first step to the hoop. And you can tell why he's called a slasher.
And Cole commits the foul on the other end, but Mount Vernon has to foul right now. Minute 39 to go. They got to hope that Scarsdale misses one-on-ones like they did against Spring Valley in the semifinal.
One thing about Doggett, though, it's very easy to guard him. He always goes to his left side with the lefty layup, lefty shot, steps left. All you got to do is be prepared if you're on defense to go to your right and prevent Doggett from driving. He's not going to go to his right side. He's just not capable of shooting it that way.
Last time Scarsdale made it to the state quarterfinals, 1988. Knob hits the first and a timeout, and apparently, Rob, Ryan Knob, not the guy you want on the line as he sank the last 3.
Certainly not. He's hot from the line, but there comes a point where you can't pick and choose. If he's got the ball and the clock continues to roll, you've got to slap him somewhere and get that whistle.
His brother Doug Knob, maybe the best player, certainly one of them on the team last year, didn't get a chance to get to the state tournament because this Mount Vernon Knight team defeated them. Well, Ryan's at minute 39 from carrying on the family tradition, getting there.
It would be nice for Scarsdale to beat Mount Vernon 3 times in a row. Of course, if you're from Scarsdale, it would be nice. For Mount Vernon, you'd figure you could beat them 1 out of 3 at least, of course, in the most important game here at the county center. But we mentioned earlier it was the Hatfields versus the McCoys, and whichever team is going to control their style. You know, you hear that so often, whoever can play their type of game will win. Well, that man, Jack Hammer, and his squad have done it for the better part of this game.
Mount Vernon has a 14-game winning streak here on the county center floor, which goes back 4 years. They're a minute 39 away from having it snapped. Of course, still not over. You can be sure that the maroon and yellow are going to put Scarsdale on the free throw line. And they're going to have to continue to hit their foul shots, but Knopp has come up big, hitting his last 3. Scarsdale will keep 3 people back: Weinstein, Jordan, and Siegel.
And in a minute 39, Mount Vernon needs 3 possessions. At least 3 possessions. That's with 3-point goals. much time to work it up instead of half-court game here. They got to start taking it to the hoop or hitting the outside shot.
Lead is 8. 3 for Brown. No good.
Get rid of it.
Knopp in the backcourt, and he'll be fouled again by Cole. And again, not the guy you want on the line. He's hit 5 in a row from the stripe after missing his first. And what balance for Scarsdale. Nobody in double figures. Stephen Cooper with 8. Brian Jordan, Ryan Knopp with 6. David Siegel with 5. Only 4 players to score for the Raiders.
It's the way you want to do it when you spread out the offense so the defense can't center on one person or play a boxing one on one particular person or area. And when you spread it out, it makes it so much more difficult because you don't know who's going to get that feed or who's going to cut down the lane.
And great job by Scarsdale to keep the ball in the hands of Knopp, because he's the guy you want with the ball late, because he's hitting his free throws 7 in a row from the line. Double-digit Raider lead, 27-17.
I dare say it's insurmountable right now for Mount Vernon. They can't hit the outside J. With 1:10 to go, Scarsdale has the ball, and they'll be shooting from the line or just playing catch.
And Weinstein is pushed, no foul call, and he'll go down as Mount Vernon fouls him. So 1:01 up on the clock here in the Class A final. As a few of the fans starting to slowly file out, could it be that the trifecta is about to be completed for the Raiders?
I think so. Time to cash in the winning tickets. Just a matter of how much it's going to be by right now. But you know, in this whole tournament, all of the #1 seeds were knocked out. But we got a great one today with 7 and 5. That was from NBA land.
So no good, still a 10-point game, 53 seconds to go. 10-point lead.
I think Galgano knows it's finished too. He wouldn't be so frowning right now if he knew they could hit the 3-point shot, but they haven't.
Jordan blocked, but a foul. Nice play by Knopp to get it up the court that time. Good foul by Newton Gale. Gale, by the way, really only with 4 points today, but in this kind of crazy game, he's been the guy who come off the bench, and he's been unable to be stopped here until today. And he'll be back. Just a junior. John McDonald, sophomore. Dana Doggett, junior. So that'll be the nucleus of the Mount Vernon Knights 92-93.
Give kudos to Stephen Cooper, number 30. He and Gale went at it all game, and judging by the scoreboard, Cooper won the battle.
Jordan, 6-1 of 2. A new biggest lead for the Raiders, 28-17. 40 seconds to go. Doggett from 3. No good. And Mount Vernon from 3 has had their trouble.
Nice to see Joe Galgano not giving up, screaming from the sidelines, giving some encouragement.
Mount Vernon has attempted 9 three-pointers, Rob. They have yet to hit one. 30 seconds to go, and the crowd's starting to feel it. Scarsdale will win the 1990-192 Class A championship, and they'll advance to the state tournament in 18 seconds.
Siegel gets the wraparound from Doggett. At this point, might as well just let the clock run out. No possible way whatsoever Mount Vernon to come back with 18 seconds to go. A great job, though, by Joe Galgano in his first year. A lot of pressure on him with last year's undefeated state championship team and the long-standing history, but they came in ranked number 7. They played a higher seed today in Scarsdale, and they just could not figure out how to break Jack Kamener's stalling offense.
Well, it's not a good matchup for Mount Vernon. Very physical team, very athletic team, but they're not as talented as they were in the last couple of years, and it's never been a good matchup for them. And now with the town pretty even, it's just a nightmare for Mount Vernon to play Scarsdale. But they knocked off a couple of, there we go, Stephen Cooper goes to the bench as the fans yell "Coop," as he's the co-high scorer so far, 8 points for Scarsdale, and he played a great game. Weinstein added a game. 4 substitutes out of the game as a happy Scarsdale bench, the culmination of a fabulous season in a year when, well, they probably weren't supposed to get back to the county center. They did. Siegel hits the second, and now David Siegel, he was shadowed most of the game, goes to the bench, the final piece in the puzzle, the big hug from the mentor. Reefer Brown still can't buy one.
Well, they found him for 10 seconds to go. You know, I'm glad I didn't mention earlier, but might as well do it now. I was going to say in the pregame that I would expect Scarsdale, if they won, they were going to win by 2. If they lose, they're going to lose by 20. I didn't think they were going to win by 13.
And now the second string, if you will, in the game for Scarsdale. The bench didn't get a chance to play. Todd Aaron is at the line. Disappointed bunch of nights, but certainly one of the most improved teams over the course of the season, and Joe Galgano knows it. Todd Aaron hits the first. He is the 6th man for Scarsdale, but just getting minutes, find the final minute, first time into the game.
Yeah, wasn't any break in the game to bring him in.
And in true Raider form, sinks them both. It's a 15-point lead. Couple seconds to go. NBA 3, McDonald, no. Tipped in, no good. And Anthony Savale, the senior, gets the rebound, and Scarsdale gets the trophy. Scarsdale has won the Class A championship 32-17. We'll come back. Post-game is next.
Anybody can use one of People's Westchester's automated teller machines. Conveniently located throughout Westchester County and available around the clock. Well, almost anybody. People's Westchester Savings Bank. A nice bank.
The Raiders a winner here in the Class A final, 32-17, robbed by 15 over Mount Vernon, and certainly unusual type of game we saw today.
Well, I never expected a 15-point Scarsdale win. I wasn't surprised by Scarsdale's victory here. I was surprised, as I said, by the margin of victory, but how much poise did Scarsdale show? I mean, they mapped out a game plan for the last couple days. They knew that they had to have their best game yet to play and beat Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon lost twice to them. They knew what to expect. They played 2 teams in the sectionals that were similar offenses and defenses to Scarsdale. But to play it as well as they did, you got to give your hats off to the MVP, Jack Kaminer.
Sure. Okay, the final stats before we get to Jack look like this. Mount Vernon shot just 29% from the field, 8 for 28. Great defense by the Raiders, and in fairness, Mount Vernon just didn't hit their threes. Scarsdale right down the middle, 9 out of 18. They hit 13 of their 19 free throws. Mount Vernon shot just 1 foul shot. Rebounds, turnovers around even. Big stat, 3-point shooting. Mount Vernon 0 for 11, including Corey Brown, not able to hit any of his bombs.
And you see Scarsdale 1 for 1. They didn't have to take any 3. Mount Vernon getting a goose eggs from the long range. You know, when they needed it the most in the 4th quarter, they came up abysmal. I mean, they couldn't get anywhere near there. I mean, they were hitting the rim, they were hitting air balls, and that's tough for Galgano because what do you do? Everything you've tried didn't work.
All right, leading scorers in this contest for Mount Vernon. No one in double figures. Rich Cole led the way with 9. Newton Gale had 4 for Scarsdale. Balance, Stephen Cooper, Ryan Knopp, each with 8. 7 each for Brian Jordan and David Siegel. Scarsdale's coach, Jack Kaminer, is standing by right now with our Peter Arciello. And the Class A champion, Jack, is with Pete. Let's go over there now.
Thank you, Eric. Down in the court with Coach Kaminer. Game plan could not have worked better than it did.
Well, we were not too sure how Mount Vernon would come out to play us. We had success against them when they played us hard man-to-man. We thought they might trap us. We worked on it. They let us control tempo once again. We don't have their kind of bench. We don't have their kind of size. We can't get fouls. So what we did was really play one half of basketball, and we stayed out of foul trouble, set the tempo, and yes, the game plan worked to perfection.
Obviously, the backcourt did a great job holding the ball, but almost as important was the frontline men getting off and getting open down low.
You got to understand something. It's so easy to put together a game plan. Every coach can put together a game plan. The point is, it's got to be executed. These young people executed the game plans all year long. People said we couldn't do it with the size. We felt that if we could control tempo, which requires a great deal of skill, ball handling, passing, cutting, and unselfish style of play, we could win. And these kids proved it. They did it. We sit on the bench. It's easy to say, do this, do that. One has to execute, and they performed.
How far can the style take you think? Is it something that, normally a team that goes to the States has either prolific scorer, plays tenacious defense. You guys, you do that when you need to, but the controlling the ball is a big, big factor.
Believe it or not, I am not even looking forward to the States. Our fans and the Westchester community is right here at the county center. I told this to the kids. This is what's important. Whatever happens now is gravy. And I mean that sincerely. We may not even try to control tempo in the States. Play the game. Let's go home. I think it's overdone anyway, the States, personally. There are kids who want to get on with baseball and lacrosse and other things, and I like to spend some time with the family as well. So we'll go out and we'll play and we'll do the best we can, but this is where it was at. Way to go, guys.
Coach Kaminer, congratulations. Class A championship.
Thank you.
Eric, back to you.
All right, Peter, I know he says it's all gravy on his mashed potatoes, but I'm sure he'll change his tune a little bit later as he starts preparing for the next game, probably a similar game plan.
Yeah, it's nice to look at the gravy and mashed potatoes in the plate, but you want to eat it too, and he could do that by staying in his game plan. Just 2 final thoughts. They condensed the game into 2 halves rather than 4 quarters, and it worked to perfection. And finally, you look at the statistic in time of possession, 24-14 for Scarsdale, 7:46 for Mount Vernon.
All right, so Scarsdale will move on to the States, and anytime Jack Kaminer says, well, he may not prepare, oh boy, watch out. He'll be probably preparing in about an hour. So that's about it. This is our final game here from the County Center this year. We had all 4 classes, all 4 great basketball games. We'd like to thank everybody, including the people here at the County Center. Did a great job. People Gannett helped us out with stats. Section 1, of course. And, of course, the 2 great crews, United Artists Cable of Westchester and everybody from Continental Cablevision, really chipped in, and we put together an action-packed weekend of high school basketball. So, for Robert Astorino, which was a pleasure working these 4 games with, Pete Arciello, as always, and our entire crews here at Cable 3 and Continental. This is Eric Lubitz. The final, Scarsdale wins Class A 32-17.
Recently, Kathleen's mother discovered a television channel. It showed her how to